Hello everyone. It's so lovely to have you here. Welcome to the Oracle Speak podcast. Today is the 6th month of us doing this, and it's very special because we're all together in person after years of doing gatherings and this podcast in different cities and traveling and coordinating. We all can sit next to each other and share the updates with you. So it's new for us, and we're really happy that we have so many of you watching us live. And to those of you who are watching our recordings, and you guys extra love. And to tell you a little bit about the journey of the podcast, it was a spontaneous idea that came through once when Aakanksha and I were just hanging and talking about how, we have this community of people who all experience similar things together. We talk about, oh, you know what, the new moon's coming up and I'm experiencing this and so are you, and how can we do this together and how can we support each other on this journey? And then we thought, you know what, instead of having these calls with like 5 of our friends, why don't we just create this podcast so that we can all go through this together and share resources that we all have and really challenge this norm that astrology and tarot need to only be done by these cool people who know how it's done and everybody else has to listen. So we want to really make it accessible, make you feel like you are an oracle and really allow you to tap into your body's wisdom and your intuition and connect to just who you are and trust that and to really allow it to flow and pick up a deck and do your own tarot reading and not rely on anybody else for that matter. Although sometimes we may want to have our cards read from other people, ask them, hey, you know what does this new moon mean for me in my chart? But to know what these things mean so that we don't blindly follow it or hold back from it out of skepticism and not knowing. So that's why we created this podcast to also talk about the transition that we're going through in the world where the old systems are changing and collapsing and there's so many new things that are coming through and how can we as people embrace this change and this is really happy. I'm so happy that we're all here. I was just doing the introduction. Would you like to say anything about how this all began and now we're 6 months in? It all began very randomly at a house like this where we are gathered today. And we thought that we keep feeling what we feel and we keep discussing it among ourselves. And we keep sort of mirroring also for each other what can we do or what could be possible if we could also share it with others. And they can also resonate with it. So it started with a very innocent intention. Yeah, and here we are.
Still innocent.
Yeah. And today we're going to give you some astrology updates, some tarot updates, and then move into music and songs. We have Nancy and Supriya right here sitting in front of us, and they'll join us when we enter that space. But for now, 3 of us will sit right next to each other and tell you about what's going on in the sky right now. Wanna go?
Yeah, sure. Okay. So we are, and we are slowly moving into Taurus season. That's the big energy shift that we're really feeling right now. And it is a big change in energy from Aries, which was a sign we were in, which was, sort of that young, energetic, almost sometimes people think foolish, you don't think before you leap. Oh, it's the new beginning and it's like the beginning of a semester or your first day on the job and you think, oh my God, I want to be here and I want to be friends with everyone. And you're almost like, and I think this is the energy of, You've been there a little bit. You kind of have a lay of the land, and you're not really taking a step back. You're still feeling that energy, but you're saying, how can I come into work with a little more class and a little more style? Maybe I don't have to get coffee for everybody. Maybe I don't have to impress every boss in the room. Actually, there might be something amazing about me right now that that there's value to it. And maybe let me just figure out, what really my role is and how I would proceed. So the visual that I always share about Taurus. So Taurus, the sign, it's an earth sign. It's a fixed sign. So, and it's also the symbol is of a bull, right? So think like it's very strong. It's very much focused on the body. We always use the analogy or the metaphor of the bull in the china shop, right? That if you are sometimes not aware of your strength, that you can cause a lot of destruction. But actually, when you leverage that strength, if you really understand how strong your body could be, then you can do a lot. You can pull crazy amounts of weight. You can create, farmed communities. You can lead to the evolution of agriculture. All of that has happened because you had an animal like the bull that led to, the birth of the greatest civilization. So really about connecting to our body the way that we can connect to the land, and understanding that where is that strength in my body, and I don't really mean strength, often in terms of physical, like how much weight you can lift or anything, but there's many different ways to be strong in our body. So this is still, it's not an old energy. When we move through the cycle of the year, we will get older through the astrological cycle, but really right now is still that youthful energy of life is short. I really want to wear my best clothes. I want to look like my outfit is the best. There is no doubt in a Taurus mind. It's like my outfit is the best, and life is too short, and I'm gonna go out there, and I'm gonna work the best, and I'm gonna really rest the best. So I think Taurus is wonderful in that it can hold both that. It can hold that joyful, youthful energy, but also it really understands the value of luxury and overindulgence. Think of satin sheets. Think of working, being like a queen boss, but also coming back home to a face mask and satin sheets or whatever your overindulgence is. That is really the sort of overall energy. We also have some transits happening, some eclipse, retrograde. So maybe I'll let both of you to speak. That was just setting the vibe of what's coming up, energetically for the next sort of chapter that we're looking at.
Yeah, also we have so many people with major Taurus placements here. Aakanksha and Nancy are Taurus rising. Yeah, so there's so much Taurus energy. Even in the audience, we have so many people with Taurus sun, moon rising, and it's really interesting. Huh? So I can see you guys nodding and giggling. So yeah, there's a lot of Taurus energy. For those of you who have Taurus rising, these transits will be happening in your first house of your personality, and major changes. Yeah, and if your sun is in Taurus, also this is your birthday season. So yeah, new downloads for the entire year coming in. And there are also a lot of Capricorn rising in this group. As always, because Rosh and I have Capricorn rising, Supriya has Capricorn rising. So if that's the case, the new moon that's coming up in Taurus on the 30th, which is also an eclipse, is happening in Taurus. So that will happen in our 5th house. So if you're Capricorn rising and watching this, it's in the 5th house. If it's Taurus rising, then the new moon will be in your 1st house. So if your rising sign is something else, you can just go to your birth chart and see where Taurus is, which house Taurus falls in, and then you know where this new moon affects you and what kind of changes you can expect. And as you may already know, new moons are a time of new beginnings and to set intentions and start afresh and really figure out what is happening, what is opening up. And Taurus, like Rosh already said, rules our body, the earth. It can make us, take a little closer look on our finances and on the food we eat. In the economy, it connects to agriculture and like the financial system. So there might be changes in that. So yeah, these are the kind of themes that you can expect. New moons are a time of setting intentions, so you can see that. And then we'll have the full moon in Scorpio. So every time we have a new moon in one sign, we have the full moon in the completely opposite sign. So on the other side of Taurus, we have Scorpio. And Scorpio is a watery sign, is your sun sign. So yeah, and your moon sign. No, your moon sign. Yeah. So we have a Scorpio moon and Scorpio sun here. And it's a watery sign, it's a powerful sign, transformation, really becoming present to deeper realities and truth, seeing things as they are. So we will have like a deeply revealing full moon coming up mid-month in May. And for me personally, Scorpio full moons are very intense. I usually have a crying spell, and I really allow myself to feel my feelings. So it may be different for you. It could be something that you really celebrate a lot of the joy that you may have not been, really allowing yourself to feel. And yeah, so that's a little bit about the lunation that we will be seeing in the coming months. Would you like to share about the energy of eclipses?
Yes, I can share about the energy of the eclipse because I feel I'm already in it. Yeah. So if you look at eclipses in general, it's about bringing to the surface what we may have previously experienced, but another layer, another dimension of it opening up. So it can be sometimes overwhelming for some people. Sometimes it can bring up this tremendous sense of exhaustion that Rosh was also mentioning while we were talking about it before. It can bring up a sense of like I'm somewhere in between, like I'm in a liminal sort of a space. It can bring up a sense of like time has a different notion for me. So this is a time when you really kind of do what you know is best for you. You got to like really listen to your own body, and this is a season wherein your body's knowledge is actually available to you. So you can really go deeper, tune in with this eclipse energy and allow what needs to just, wipe off from your imprint, from your ancestral memories, from, it could be in form of grief, it could be in form of sheer hopelessness, doesn't matter, like, even like a sense of meaninglessness, it could be all of that. And to know that this is just being in that cycle. Yeah. And eclipse with the energy of the Scorpion moon. Yes, those can be like, we don't want to have that, that's the first feeling. Yeah, it's just, if you're attuned to feeling a certain kind of comfortable discomfort, you know what I mean? Yeah. So with the Scorpio moon and your eclipse season, it's just like a cocktail of intensity that you can experience, what Aarti also mentioned. So to really sort of give yourself the time to rest, to relax, to maybe be in nature, connect with your tribe, your friends, your community, people who support you. Yeah. And you can also use this time for great insight and healing and really letting go of the past, of really releasing the old energy from your system. So wherever you feel like you are called to, that's the right place to be during this time. That's how my eclipse season has started this time. So that's what I can say. Anything else?
I think it's so beautiful, sorry, that I'm physically sitting with them, because every time we've been connected online and we use this phrase between us that, working with us, when you, sometimes Aakanksha once said, when you speak, my brain starts working, and I say, when you speak, my heart starts working. And that's exactly what's happening right now. As both of them have shared, my heart is suddenly like, I'm tuning in all of this. So just maybe as a way to connect what three of us shared, if there was like 2 pointers you want to take away, because I know we've given a lot, is to remember the two big energies we have over the next time till we meet again is the Taurus energy and the Scorpio energy, both fixed energies. And by fixed energies, we mean not someone who's, often it's looked at, oh, someone who's stubborn, someone who doesn't like to change, someone who is resistant to change. But in fact, there's another way to look at it, is that you're actually very good with moving on with change. So if you allow yourself to let go, as Aakanksha was saying, if you feel like something has served you and it no longer serves you and you want it out, this is the best time to do that, because the energies will help you. So it's very much like thinking of, locking something up and not just keeping away the key. The key is gone. You've even melted the key into like a coin and buried it. It's over. So if that's a relationship, if it is a lesson, if it is a bodily practice that is no longer working for you, if it is an emotional, spiritual practice that is not working for you, say thank you to it. Really say thank you to it, because it has worked for you. That is why you went towards it. And allow that to be released. It's really asking you that. And then tune into what is coming up. Is it a simpler practice? Is it something that you tried in the past and it didn't work, but now it feels better? Is it doing it with a friend? Is it maybe picking another color, that you want to use for your journaling? So allow this time to make big and small, but very critical changes, because the energies will make it much easier. So if you're letting go of something, or if you really want to, I think personally, and I think we'll agree, that eclipses are not really the best time to start something new. It's a time, like the metaphor sometimes is used, it's like a power outage. It's when the electricity is gone. So you don't really want to start painting a new thing or start cooking when there's no electricity. You're really like, okay, where's the candle? Where's the emergency light? Am I okay? Is my pet okay? Are we okay? Okay, what is the electricity department saying? Okay, we have water in the house. Okay, the windows are locked up. You're making sure you have your resources. You're making sure what information is coming. And you're waiting for the electricity to come back on to then start cooking, to then start the process. But till then, you're gathering all your information. So I would say, tune into that energy. Don't feel like, oh, time is running out. It's the beginning of the year. Oh my God, I've achieved nothing. We're already in May. It's okay. The universe is giving you this mini break. Allow what needs to go out. It's a great time to cleanse. If you want to make it a ritual thing, clean your closet, give away things. You have relationships, you have books, you have physical, emotional, spiritual things that no longer work for you. Thank you very much. Goodbye. And make space for anything that might come to you. Yeah.
Yeah, and also continuing that analogy, you might have a power outage in your house, and then your friend might tell you, hey, why don't you come over to my house? And then you're like, whoa, okay, big change. And then you end up living there. So expect the unexpected in some way. That's what eclipses are, like wildcard energy. I also like to call it like a liminal portal, like a wormhole. So you enter the eclipse from this side and you leave here and you don't know what happens here. So you might have this image of a wormhole or like a portal from any movie you watch. For me, eclipse seasons are always like that. And eclipses usually come in 2s or 3s and sometimes 4s. That happened some years ago, and I don't want that again. Now we have to. So, let's just allow ourselves to move in and out of it. Things might change. Unexpected things might happen. Good things might happen. Some things that you didn't expect might happen. They might throw you off. But all in all, it's happening for something that you may not really be able to see. Also, one thing I wanted to mention was the Pisces stellium. I think not mentioning it would be not cool. So I'm just going to quickly tell you guys that 4 planets are in Pisces right now. They have been, a lot of action has been in Pisces even during the last podcast episode that we recorded. And Pisces is a sign of the liminal. It's a sign of transformation, spirituality, the unseen world, all the topics that are taboo in our society. And the fact that 4 planets are there, which is Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Neptune. And Jupiter and Neptune are rulers of Pisces. So there's a lot of beautiful, spiritual, sublime energy accessible to us. And we were also talking a lot about dreams and how right now it's a potent time for us to tune into our dreams. A lot of you have been writing to us telling us that you've been having crazy dreams, and so have we. So, just stay with it, tune into it, allow messages to come through, release and process, and just be gentle on yourself because you may not be as available and present as you usually are. It's easy to be a bit lost and foggy, and that's fine. That's totally okay, and it's okay to feel low and sad and moody or to feel exhausted. Like we were just saying today, we have to do the podcast. Okay, we can do it. We were so tired, so that's normal. There's so much action in Pisces. So yeah, thought I should mention it. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. So we can't wait to show you the cards that we have pulled today.
Oh, yes. Thank you,
Thank you, Rosh. So we got these two cards, and they both are from two different decks, but they are both the number 10. It's about harmony. You can see a lot of blue in it, and here it's also a 10 of cups. And so the whole message of these cards is very much about tuning to the source, tuning in to your own energy. I think we talked about it in the last podcast also. This energy has been there and it's like more on the surface now. What does it mean to tune into your source? To really be able to come into alignment with yourself. That could be one of the ways to put it. It could also be that if you're receiving some messages for yourself, to be able to trust it. Messages from beyond, yeah, which may not immediately make meaning or sense, but you feel that it holds some kind of a value for you right now, even if you do not understand. So that's what we mean, like to be able to tune into source. And this connection since the time we had the last podcast until now, the way things have changed at a frequency level in our world, you can actually tap into this connection much more easily based on your own unique imprint. Yeah. So your ability to be able to tune into the feminine is much more easily accessible from the last to now. To be able to access your own, you would have talked about it at some point, like, what we call the multidimensionality of your being. That has been even more available. So to really focus on these various aspects of yourself that may not have been so easily acceptable to you. Yeah, your abilities, which you have doubted for so far, may suddenly feel just right. So these are some examples in how it could possibly be felt. You can notice certain changes in form of the kind of food you like to eat. Has it changed in the last 3 months? The way you like to engage with your body, has that undergone some kind of a change? The way you communicate, has that started to show a difference? So you can find it in your own periphery, in your own self. Yeah. And 10s are also a lot about transformation, so the energy will continue. It's a very beautiful message of peace, of harmony, of love, of really being able to believe in the divine cosmic forces that surround us, that hold us, that protect us, that are there for us. And that's what these cards are asking for us. This, you can see it as more of, you see the dolphins. Dolphins, if you have to look at it in more scientific terms, the sound waves that the dolphins make, right? Those sound waves have a very different frequency in an energetic form. And it's considered to be a very pure frequency. And to be able to listen to your own higher self, messages from that. At the same time, if you see it in this card, there are a lot of people gathered here. It's also like, consider it as gathering together as a tribe, as your community. you wanting to seed something, you have some intentions that you hold, and really praying for the universe, for the cosmos to really give you that, extra, I would say, booster dose. A lot of people are going for, vaccine boosters. So this could be a booster from the universe to really go ahead with that. Yeah. Aarti, anything that comes to you?
Yeah, you really said it all, and you said it so beautifully. The only thing that I feel like mentioning is that they're both cards 10 of cups. So water element is really standing out. And again, connects a bit to the Pisces stellium. There's a lot of energy happening in the water sign. So even though we're in Taurus, which is an earth sign, there is also high action in water. And the 10 is, like the journey has happened from the 8 to the 1, 2, 3 until like 10. So this card is mature. So this means that a journey has happened. So now we're at this point where things are moving to the next level and we can feel it very tangibly. And it's interesting, right? Like one is about connecting within and the other one is about connecting with community, and it really feels like they're both happening. Something that I think Aakanksha is reading from this that really stood out was about self-aware people who are all connected within coming together. And no wonder, like we're all sitting here, 5 of us, like who are like women, all in their own right, like really cool people, and now we're co-creating. So it really feels like that energy has also shown up in our physical environment. And this year, 2022, is about networking, about building deep relationships, about really figuring out who are the people who I need to invest in, who are the people who invest in me. So the theme of community and family relationships really stands out to me when I see the 10 of cups. Yeah.
Okay, so now we can move to the fun part of today's evening. And we'd like to introduce our two very beautiful friends here.
Yeah. Would you like to come sit here and tell everybody about all the amazing things you're up to?
Yeah. These two are two amazing women.
Yeah.
You come.
So this is a spontaneous jam, guys. This is not a performance. We're just sharing music with you guys from our heart. And yeah, we hope you enjoy it and receive it. You can receive it as a healing transmission. Come there. Usually we would just like switch screens and like you see us like all ready to perform, but this is just like candid and sweet.
Okay. This is beautiful. Come. I know. They suddenly put them on the big screen, guys. So that's Nancy. Hi, Nancy.
Hello. Would you like to introduce yourself? No? You don't have to. Whatever you want. Nancy is super cool. She just created a space called Aloha, and it's really beautiful. She just launched it a few weeks ago, and the way that people came together and co-created it, it was really moving. With the Kukila, I'm saying this.
Yeah,
and it's a space for people to host events and come together and just meet as themselves. And it's in Bangalore for now, and it'll move as Nancy moves.
It's also the home where I live.
Yeah. It's also her home. Come in. The shaking holy this one. Okay. Oh, I need it. Okay. Maybe we can just push it back. Yeah. Thanks for being patient, guys.
Yeah, sorry.
we put like a lot of food and drinks on the table.
Okay.
There we go. There we are.
Okay. Hello, everyone, and I'm Sophia. And thank you so much, Aarti, for really inviting. I think just to see everyone here together and to really hear all the deep insights about what's coming and where we are at this moment. I think I feel really happy and I feel very much in tune with everything that's happening in life and the way life is flowing right now. So yes, I think I do want to acknowledge that there is massive amount of excitement that's been very alive throughout the day. So my body does respond in a lot of excitement right now. So with this breath, I am going to just let that excitement flow. And I think we are really here today to also, at this moment, I think the way Aarti mentioned, it was the medicine music. And I think just to give a little introduction about how we started with it. One night, Aarti and I was just sitting and jamming, and I had a tune, and Aarti had these beautiful set of words stringed together into a, like almost a musical note that's flowing. So all it needed was to just bring it together. And then we just started singing, and it almost felt like a trance in that moment. And I think that's when I felt that it is so healing. It felt like really coming and connecting to the source, really connecting to the source. And I think that is what came alive with that bonding that happened in the music. So holding that intention, is there anything, Aarti, you want to add to it?
Yeah, I think it's just healing to be able to sit together and just flow and sing with our eyes closed for the same sentence over and over, like just until it fills our heart. And I just felt like, the instruments that we have here, which you will see, we just wanted somebody to play it, and I was like, the only person who can do this is Nancy. So we just asked Nancy, hey Nancy, would you like to? She said, yeah, of course. So here she is. I think she might not have even heard us singing the song.
Yeah.
So this is a spontaneous jam, guys, that you are going to witness. And yeah.
So I asked Aarti, like, send me location of your house at 6:30, and she sent me the song.
Lovely. Yeah, I think I'm really looking forward to this jam also. And as we jam and as we share this song, I think holding that intention of healing, connecting with the soul, if you feel like maybe just remembering to take that rest, that back support while you listen, and if you feel like you may want to just close your eyes or maybe just keep your eyes open with that eyes of wonder. Yeah, and in response to the music, if there is a response that feels alive in your body, so just allowing that to flow. If the response may be with a hum. So if you feel like humming with us, just flow with it, and just in fact we invite you to just allow yourself to give that permission to yourself. Maybe just hum, or if it's a movement, just allowing that, or if it's just lying down and just sleeping, just allowing yourself to do that. So with that, we're going to begin. Come home, come
song is usually our lullaby. We sing it at night before we go to sleep. Thank you so much for listening to us and experiencing this music. If you felt any responses and you'd like to share it with us, please feel free to put it in the chat. If you are lying down and closing your eyes, you do not have to open your eyes and talk to us. You can be in your own space. And with that, we're moving into closing. And if there's anything anybody would like to say, please feel free. There's so many of us, so anybody can say whatever they want. And I just feel like expressing so much gratitude and celebrating the 6-month journey that we've had together of co-creating this podcast, which is more than just a podcast. It's a gathering of people and really walking together. And the fact that we're all here together is very, very important to me, and it's making me joyful. There's so much ease in the way that we went about this podcast today, and to have beautiful friends sharing music and their hearts. Thank you for being here. Thank you all for coming and listening to us. And if any of the things we said resonated, please feel free to tell us. And if there's anything that we can bring to you the next time, we'd love to know. And hope that you're inspired to walk on the path of becoming the oracle that you already are. And sending you a lot of love as we move into eclipse season.